Hey Ubers, long time no see, and a lot has happened in the past 3 weeks. First, let me give you some news about my health. I've seen the surgeons last week. They were both happy with my progress. The arm, I'm still having some range of motion limitations. It doesn't prevent me from sitting in front of a computer, it doesn't prevent me from swimming, it doesn't prevent me from holding a bike. So it's just comfort at this stage. This range of motion, I still need to work on it for the next 6 to 8 weeks, but I should be there eventually, and it doesn't prevent me from doing anything that I want to achieve. Last time we talked, I was just starting walking with a cane. I'm now walking without a cane, and I even started running again, which is way ahead of schedule, and is pretty good. I'm very glad, of course, and let's see in detail about my progress. Let's start with the swim. Last time we talked, I was just pushing it to 400 meter, but I was still at a pretty slow pace of about 3 minutes per 100. So what I focused on, instead of focusing on distance, because 400 meter is pretty close already to my next objective, which is a sprint triathlon in July. So I wanted to focus on technique, on getting better in the water. And I had a main issue before my accident, just like a lot of bad swimmers, which is that I was trying to hit the water pretty hard, to pull hard, and that's not how you're supposed to do it. And with my arm damaged, of course, I'm not able to just hit it full strength, and I need to work more on my streamline, on my breast technique, and on my cadence. So I worked on that. I didn't increase my distance by a lot. I went from 400 meter to 500 yards, so only a handful more. But my speed, I moved my pace to 2:30 and then below 2 minutes per 100 pace, which is more or less where I was before the accident. I'm saying more or less because before my accident I was doing way longer swim practice, and so I was not doing just one set of whatever. I will be doing, like, for instance, 5 sets of 200 or 10 sets of 100, so with rest time in between, and these rest times were of course damaging my average swim pace, which is not the case when I'm doing just one set as I'm doing right now. So I might actually be slower than I was before the accident, but anyway, we're in the ballpark. So in terms of swim, I'm pretty happy. On the bike side, so last time we talked, I was only doing 7.5K at a 27K per hour average, which on the spin bike is pretty low, because of course, you don't have to face winds, you don't have to face traffic, you don't have to face SUVs, and so your average speed can go a bit higher. So I worked on that speed, and just like for the swim, I didn't necessarily get the best technique before my accident. I was pushing hard on the bike as well, and not with a great cadence. I was at 85 round per minute, which was not, which is way too hard. So now I can't push that much because otherwise, I feel pain in my leg. So I'm increasing the cadence instead, and I'm now biking, or indoor biking, at an increased cadence of 100, which is what I was aiming for. I'm increasing my distance as well. So in the past 3 weeks I went from 7.5 to 15k, which again, if we keep in mind my next objective, which is a sprint triathlon, is roughly where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to get 20 in 3 months, so I should be there without any problem. I'm now walking without a cane, which is a great improvement in itself. I'm not improving that much anymore in terms of pace, but I'm more or less where I was before the accident. I was never a fast walker, in part because walks was never a part of my routine. I mean, I had to walk the dog, but that's it. So yeah, I'm back to 4k and plus walks a day. That's when I do 2 walks in the same day. And I'm down to 14-15 minutes k walks, which is a bit slower than before my accident, but it's roughly where I want to go. The main improvement was, of course, the run. I was only given a green light on Wednesday, so I just tried half a mile on Thursday, 1k on Friday, I rested on Saturday, and I tried a full mile yesterday, and it went well. A bit more painful than I thought it would, but nothing really out of the ordinary. I went pretty easy both in distances, as you can hear, and in terms of speed. I ran on the treadmill, so I was able to exactly control my speed, and you know, if anything goes wrong, then I'm just home. I can just stop and sit right away. I don't have to call anyone or to go anywhere. So I'm gonna run on the treadmill for the time being. I was supposed to run my first half Ironman yesterday in Galveston. I didn't. Congrats to all of you who successfully ran that. There was a lot of wind. It was tough. Mostly the wind was against the runners on the way back. The bike part was just a round trip along the coast. So it was tough, and most of them started running around noon. It was super hot. So yeah, it was very difficult for all the runners because of the wind, because of the heat. And congrats to all of you. But so I'm a bit sad that I'm not going to compete in a half Ironman this year. I had 2 events scheduled. Galveston was supposed to be yesterday, and Santa Cruz, which is September 11. And I'm pretty sure I won't be ready in such a short time to compete all 3 events in a row. But I'm thinking strongly about the Oilman. So it's a non-Ironman organized event, but it's a pretty big race in the Houston area. It's 70.3 or 70.2999 because of legal reasons, and it's happening in November. So I'm really thinking hard of registering to it. I mean, just before my accident, I mentioned that 2021 will be the year I'll start training for my first marathon. And after my accident, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to only focus on the half this year, and we'll see. But I'm doing pretty good in terms of recovery, in terms of schedule. So I think I'm going for it. So January 2022 should be, as expected, my first marathon. So these are the main 2 announcements that I wanted to make today. I'm going for the Oilman, hopefully. I'll see in a couple of weeks if it's not too big of a challenge, but if it's not, I'm definitely be doing it. And the other one is the Chevron Marathon in Houston, January 22. That's it. So with that Oilman in line now, I can say that 2021, as expected, as if no accident ever happened, should be the year where I turn from an Iron noob to an Iron man. See you guys.